dinner, and I got a message to say, hey, we're ready for you. And I went, what? If I do drop out, I apologize, because we are currently in Australia. We have really, really heavy storms, and there's really bad rain and wind outside. So, you know, if I drop off, it will be because of that. I suppose the very first question that you did say to me is, how did I end up with a Healy device? And interestingly enough, I saw somebody talking about this thing. I didn't know what it was. And I don't know, I just resonated with it. I had really bad menopausal symptoms. This was 2 years ago. And I thought, oh, anything, I would try anything, you know, because I'd had hot flushes, I had headaches, you name it. I've got the list of things that were going on for menopause. I'm 58 years of age now, and I'd had breast cancer, and all these things were just skew. So I saw a girl talking about something, and I went, oh, this could be the little thing for me. I need something. So for those of you that have had a Healy as long as I have, would remember that 2 years ago, when the Healy device came, there was just such a big influx of people wanting them in Australia that we had shipment problems, and it took quite a few, I'm going to say weeks. It took nearly, I think, 2 months for them to arrive. And in the meantime, I was reading things that were people saying, and I got really excited, because I thought, oh my goodness, I could use this for my pets. And it wasn't something anybody talked about back then. So I'm an animal communicator. I'm a Reiki master. I've done a whole energy body balance. I've got a list about this long of things that I've learned, done, played with, practiced with, whatever, when it comes to animals. And so if there's something that I think I can use in my business with my animals, then I'm all for it. But I'd already bought this little magic tool for myself. I loved it so much. I thought, oh, I need a second one. And of course, I sold something like 20 of them in a matter of weeks, because everybody I knew that had a pet, they needed one, right? So I was just so excited about it. And, you know, from there, I saw the ability to just be able to use this. So, you know, I know different people say different things, but for me, it's a wellness tool. I don't call it anything else than that. It's a wellness tool. And I think people really need to be aware of the language they're using around it. I mean, really, to me, it's a magic tool. It does all sorts of wonderful things, but it is a wellness tool. And when you come to pets or even your own health, I like to talk about it as if it's an entire onion. And we've got to take layers off sometimes to get to what the core issue may be down the bottom. So, you know, even with pets, they don't have the same amount of baggage that we have, although sometimes they come with little suitcases when you get rescue pets. But most of the time, you know, they've got issues that they need to work through. And what I loved about Healy, and this is the resonance, is that it has all these amazing homeopathic frequencies in there. People just don't talk about them. People don't encourage people to know about them. I mean, I'm just about beside myself when I go, look what we have. You know, if your dog's not feeling well, you can be using, say, Materia Medica if they've got a tummy ache, or there's so many beautiful homeopathics in there that we can use. And you can scan your pets and just run a frequency for about 1 minute, and it can make a huge difference. I've used the frequencies for all of my pets from the day I got it right through till the day several of them have passed. I was running the gold frequencies release right as my dog was transitioning. And, you know, I just know it was beneficial for him and, of course, myself. So, you know, this little magical tool here is, you know, just something really, really special. The other day I was doing an animal communication with a lady who has a little Joey. Mum got killed, hit by a car. It had broken bones. And so I said to this lady, you know, as an animal communicator, sure, I can intuitively pick up, you know, what's going on. And it does give me the ability for certain things that other people don't have. But one of the things that I knew was that this little guy was heartbroken because there was no connection between him and mum anymore. And the lady had several other young Joeys there, but she had to keep them apart because this little guy had a broken leg, and you know, being around with the other bubs was just knocking him around. So I said to her, look, I'll do some frequency on the Joey for you, just to really help emotionally, but also, you know, what can we do, because it's got in there all your meridians and your nerves, and it's got so many amazing things in there. So it was really funny. I did some scans and I sent some frequencies off, and this lady was non-believing of animal communication, by the way. I could tell. But her daughter had paid for the session, and her daughter was so excited about it. You know, she rings me back up and she goes, Mum couldn't believe those things you said. Well, Mum couldn't believe within a few days this Joey had completely changed, was up, was hopping around, was strengthened. And, you know, it was because I could use this beautiful little tool to support this Joey. So, you know, for me, I've used it on dogs, cats, horses. People have used it on koalas, lots of wildlife in Australia. In my group Frequencies for Pets, there's 3,500 animal lovers in there, and they'll come in and they'll share photos. Oh, you know, we used it on the snake or the raccoon. Or I'm just blown away what people use this device on their pets and how they use it. But, you know, as with anything, it's a powerful tool in a tiny little box. You know, I always teach everybody less is more, slow for animals, things like that. So, you know, it's I just love the ability to be able to use the homeopathics more than anything for pets, because it's just amazing. So I don't know, I'm rambling on here, Karen. What would you like to ask me?
You know this, everything that you've said is just mind-blowing, because you're right, it is a wellness tool. And it's only when we start actually looking at what this little device can do, um, you're actually blown away with it. Now, I reached out to you because my dog Molly, she's a Springer. She had a stroke two weeks ago, and I ran the animal programs, just basically scanned her, and it came up with a 74% defense systems. And I remembered you saying in one of your previous calls, don't do a lot, you know, just do it small. So I did 5 minutes 59, because I thought, well, you know me, I'm going to get the most, as much as I can to her, as quickly as I can. And I ran 5 minutes 59 seconds, and I was totally blown away, because 5 hours later I ran the scan again just to see. I didn't send the frequency, I just went to see what had happened, and it had dropped already down to 40%, 46%. And I was like, wow, this is really a magical tool.
I
And
think the thing is we have a lot of emotional baggage, right? So when it comes to, you know, working with humans, there's lots of stuff to clear, but pets don't have that, you know. So I always say to people, you know, they go to me, how long should I run this? And I go, well, that depends on your dog. You know, if your dog's 2 kilos, they don't really need very much. There's not lots going on in there. There's a tiny little thing, you know, or what's the age? And I don't know about anybody else here, but I was beside myself with excitement when I think it was a year ago when they brought out the animal frequencies, and they talked about it and talked about it and talked about it. And I'm going, stop talking about it, just bring it out. And of course, when it came out, I just hooked up everybody in the house and ran the frequencies. Well, of course, you know, one would have thought after 12 months of my dogs using the frequencies regularly, and I don't use it on my animals every single day, by the way. You would have thought, though, because they're so used to it being run around the house or whatever. And so I hooked up Fergie, my elderly golden retriever, who was 15 at the time, ran it for 5 minutes, and he was sick straight afterwards. He had vomiting and diarrhea because I just had hit him with too much. And it was such a good lesson, because no matter me telling people, hey, go slow and low, I was so excited, boom. And I went, that's right, Donna, follow your own advice. You know, he's an elderly dog. He only needs a minute. But, you know, things back with Fergie, I mean, he had sundowners, which is like dementia for old dogs. Or dogs can get as they're getting older. And I used to scan him at night for bark flowers, because it's emotions, and just to calm him down, deliver those frequencies. I also scanned a particular product, and this is advanced training, by the way. I scanned into the Aura Scan a particular cognitive powder, and I would deliver that frequency to him as well to support him. And then I would, you know, work through different things. So for him, I mean, you know, I was just so grateful that I had a tool to work with a senior dog. And, you know, I mean, obviously I'd used joints on all of my dogs over the time. But you know, it's sort of like having a little recipe there and going, oh, what can I do, or how can I help them, or you know, what is it? And in the scanning that we have there, I keep looking at this, looking for words of wisdom, but they're not coming to me. You know, scanning, it really does tell you things. And it's like what you read out, or who mentioned about the bark flowers, or batch flowers, as you call them over there. There is different meanings to it. And it's, you know, as you spend time and you're looking at what it says and thinking about it and how does it resonate with your pets, quite often the answer's there for what's going on with them. So, you know, in my practice, my business as an animal communicator / healer, I do use my tool, particularly animals that have got a lot of emotional stuff going on. I found it's invaluable for that. And it really gives me a path to work forward with them.
Yeah, the thing is, I think we underestimate also how intelligent our pets actually are and what they actually respond to, because you know, like I spoke to you about the bath flower, and you said, you know, after Molly had had the stroke, she says, run the bath flower, and I did, and I only did it 1 minute, you know, whatever it is, 1 minute something, and I was like, even that, she just really just calmed down, and I was like, oh, okay. So we went to the vet, and she went, yeah, she's had a stroke, and I'm like, oh, hold on, I'm actually calm about it because I already knew that things had already settled down by the time I got to, you know, got to the vet. So for that, I'm very grateful. Just, you know, for you to say, well, remember the emotions, bufflower remedies, you can, you know, vibrate that in. And it's like when you're in a panic, you're trying to think, oh, what else can I do? What else can I do? And it's like, oh, hold on, emotions, really simple and quick.
I think one of the things is that when you get to understand a little bit more about your pets and understand things that are going on, when we step away, because people go, oh, my dog's got this or my dog's got that. And I go, okay, great. But what was the underlying emotion for it? And, you know, like, what is the underlying emotion for stroke? Was it that she was so stressed that it brought on a stroke? Or, you know, often the vets won't share that with you. But if you can spend a little bit of time and learn and understand that, then you can support her with those additional frequencies. And that can be something like, you know, when you buy you get a paid subscription in the pink apps for all the pet programs, then you can use those in addition to support her. But, you know, it's like, same as you, my cat got sick, didn't eat. Who Anita's cat didn't eat. I ran the scan and I knew exactly what was going on. I delivered some frequencies. I also did a healing on him. I chortled him off to the vet and said, my cat's really, really sick. Can you? And they said, nothing wrong with your cat. And I went, okay, great. I get home the next day. I knew he was really sick. I go back to the vet. I said, can you take bloods? And it already been showing me various different things. So I was really set in my mind to knowing what was going on. And then they said, oh, I'm sorry, Donna, if he survives the day. And I sort of went, it was just like this telltale sign looking at what Healy had said. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting because I scanned him and I thought, you know, I can heal this cat. I'm a miracle worker. That wasn't true at all. And that was a hard thing, you know, because I was grappling with what could I do, anything I could do for him. His kidneys had failed. And, you know, really in the end, I had to step aside and just support him. And that's what I was able to do with the device in terms of just relaxing. And, you know, it was more me that needed to have the acceptance.
Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, you asked also about, you know, what was going on with Molly, why, you know, with the stroke, what was the stress, who was stressed. I was the one who was stressed, you know, and it's a case of she's obviously taken that from me, you know, and went through that. And it was a case of that day when she had the stroke, I actually laid down tools and it was like, I'm not working, I'm spending time with her. And it was like a lesson to me as well to go, you know what, life's important.
Well, it's interesting. One of the ladies in the group this week said, I don't use the Hitley on myself. I use it on my cats. I've got 18 of them or something. And I said, wow, what an amazing cat mum. But the thing is your animals reflect you. So if you've got stress and drama going on, they try and take that for you. So, this is the case with, say, Molly doing for you. Lots are going on for you, Karen. So I'll support you taking that stress and drama on. And a lot of people don't get that. And I mean, that's why they're here in our lives. That's their role, their job, how they support us. And that's what I love about it. This is just a simple little tool that we can use to support them. But don't forget to support the human at the same time.
Yeah.
And, if anybody on the call here hasn't tried a Healy before, get together with whoever's encouraged you to get on the call and run a scan. You really only have to spend a couple of minutes a day supporting your own wellness. And that's what I love. We've had a crazy 2 years. You've had it crazier than me over there. We're allowed freedoms in Queensland where I live, and we could walk around. But, the stress and the anxiety, I couldn't have done without mental balance on this little tool. Even it's getting cold, and there's, the weather's quickly changed here, and I've always been an asthmatic. So, I support it with the immune or the biobalance. These have just been amazing for my own health and wellness. So, between all of us, there's one of these for me, one for the dog, and one for anybody else that needs.
I think that seems to be the case. It's a case of you buy one initially for yourself, and then it's like in our house, it was a case of I bought for my husband, so he got his own, and then I'm like, oh, Molly, you need one as well, so I got one for Molly, and I've got another one now that I just use for my clients. So it's like, I've got 4 in the house. So it's a case of everything's running. But actually even using the frequencies, I'm going to just share this story as well. One of my customers, her dog was a rescue dog, and actually tried to attack me, but actually attacked my husband and bit him. And she was like absolutely mortified. And I said to her, whatever you do not put that dog down. I says, because it's not the dog's fault. There's something else happening. And I says, but what I will do is I would love to run the Healy frequencies and see what shows up. So she was in agreement, and we did that once a week. She also had a behavioralist coming and checking and seeing what they could do with her. And this behavioralist actually turned around, and I actually only ran the scans once a week for maybe 2 weeks. And when the behavioralist came back, she turned around and she went, what have you done? And she was like, why? And she says, one of her challenges she does with a dog is actually look at them eye to eye. And she said, before, I would never have even thought of that. I wouldn't even try that, because I knew that it would be the aggression. And now she says she came in and she specifically went and wanted to do eye contact. And Izzy just rolled over and went on her back. And it was like, oh. And then she was just absolutely blown away that this dog had responded so well, to the Healy and the frequencies. And even like my chum's husband, he was like, this stuff doesn't work. What are you wasting your money? Why are you doing all this? But he was the first one that was going, have you had the scan today? What did it show up? And I'm like, hold on, I thought he wasn't into this. So, and he was actually blown away at what it was picking up. So yeah, I mean, I can go on with stories, but yeah, it's a case of we're quite, when I look at the law and all that, sometimes we're quite quick to put our pets down or animals down without actually understanding more about why. And we automatically say it's the dog's fault, but actually it's not. It's it's the owner's, maybe not the owner's fault, but it's a circumstance. Like if it was a rescue, this dog was a rescue dog, so it was a case of what had happened previously. So it's a case of don't hurt the dog, because that's all that's known.
Yeah. It's interesting because I know a lot of people have this device and use it in rescues. And, what we did at the start, or what you did, Karen, at the start of the call, where you took the photo and then you ran the group scan. You know, if you've got a large pack of animals, you can do that in your household. So, you know, some people would go, oh, hang on a second, I've got to run it for me, and I've got to run it for this, and I run it, you know, I'll be here all day, right? So that is a frustrating thing. But you can put all your animals in together, or you could put your dogs, or, you know, Belinda, we've got a friend who's got 25. Belinda's in my team, by the way. We've got like a friend who's got 25 rescue dogs. Well, you know, she'd be trying to, whereas like she could take photos of, or put them in groups, and then you know, it could be ones with more of the high anxiety. You could take the photo and then send those frequencies to there, etc. So, you know, there is lots of things that you can do with the device. It's not that you have to spend hours scanning. But I don't know about anybody else, but I'm going to be excited about doing scans. You know, I like to look, and I love the aura scan. So before I start an animal communication session, I will run the aura scan just to see where I'm at. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty damn excited if I'm at like 98, 99. I know it's going to be an awesome session, because the throat chakra is working, up here is working. And I go, whew. But I've run a scan, and my throat chakra has been lower, and I've struggled to get the words out. And that's what I love about this. It really helps you identify where you're at on a day-to-day basis as well.
Yeah, it's just a fantastic tool. And this is why, you know, we're trying to share this with as many people as possible and let them come and experience. We have the roadshows here in the UK. So we've got the 21st of June in London from 6 till 9 p.m. We have the 23rd in Manchester, 2 till 5, and then we've also got Edinburgh the 25th of June from 2 till 5. So it's a case of, we want to share this out to as many people as possible and get them to come to these events and come and feel the energy that comes with all of this, all these frequencies, but also they get to try it and share it with others. So and find out from others, how do they use it, what do they use it, how, you know, what is it about this magical device that's everyone's wanting a piece of.
Yeah, I think my upline Rachel's flying out for it.
Yeah,
you know, I heard on the grapevine, and I was thinking, oh, I'd like to fly out too.
well, come on
over. Be very, very exciting. But look, the roadshows are fantastic, and it's a good opportunity for people just to get there and have a look see. I don't know, I thought, what are they talking about, when this girl was going on about it, right? She was so excited. She actually had she'd had a brain bleed and had a stent put in her head, this girl, and she'd been in so much constant pain. And then from using this little device had stopped all the pain medication, things like that. And obviously it's her story to tell, but not mine. But I was reading this and thought, wow, I don't know what this is, but I want to give it a crack, because it's got to help with menopause, right? Anything would help with menopause. And then, you know, really for me, it's just been so much, you know, it's such an enlightening way to learn about myself and also to support my pets. So yeah, I love it.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much, Donna. Has anybody else got any questions?
I've got one.
Go for it.
Hi, Donna.
Hi, Anita. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And we would love to have you come over. It would be great.
I'll be on the next plane.
Yeah, do. Okay, so I want to ask you, I have a Healy firm since 2020, and my dog, Dougal, who's with us now in the room, he's in the room. He's 15 now, but at 13 he had a stroke, and I used the Healy for him. And he's, you know, he's well, he's absolutely fine. But my question to you is that the animal programs compared to the whole list that Karen was showing earlier, do you feel that they are more beneficial for different reasons, the animal programs specifically for you, because that's what you do? Because I noticed that what I use on him, whatever came up in the scan, completely helps him. So I was just wondering if the animal program's just for a house pet rather than, you know, somebody like yourself.
Look, because Healy don't tell you exactly what's the same, you know, it's very hard because I'm only going from my own intuition on these things. But like you and like most people here, we didn't even have the opportunity to get the pink apps to start with in the animal program. So, you know, I've always supported my pets with exactly the same way as you're supporting your pets. You know, I'm championing that they sell them to us, the subscription, as one, you know, one hit. Because I think, you know, we've waited this long. Why not give us an opportunity? But, you know, for me, if you're starting out, then you use the frequencies that come up. You know, if you run the PET scan that you get within the resonance. And by the way, ladies, you know, for me, that PET scan and the resonance, I don't run it any more than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah.
you know, and for instance, so if it did come up though, and say the top program in there was joints, you don't, you know, if you don't have the animal, look at this little piece of paper, girls, you just love to see that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Say for instance, it comes up with joints, then sure, that is one. If you had the, you know, if you had the paid subscription, you could go and use, but I would just flip it over and use the joints that we have. And, you know, for me, I only ever leave it at about 15% on the pink app for my animals, or you can turn it up if you're using the coil, you know, for your pets. But I like to allow my pets to get up and walk away.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. A lot of people say to me, oh, my dog or cat doesn't like it. And I go, that's okay. You know, have you ever thought that at this particular point, they're just getting enough of what's going on in their house anyway? So, you know, cats are always frequency hogs. Cats love it. But, you know, some dogs are a little bit, no, I don't need that right now.
You're right, Donna, you're right. Because when I only vibrate on Dougal, the very, very minimum. And I do that sometimes with myself anyway. But like you said, it can mirrors you. And the odd occasion when I've put it on the proper treatment programs, it's very low. And he does, after a while, he walks away. So sometimes he doesn't, he stretches out and gets it all in. And other times he's had enough and it's okay and he walks away. So yeah, thank you, Donna. I was just wondering.
So my golden retriever is 12. I mean, I had 3 golden retrievers. Ajax is my baby. And you'll see if you go to my Facebook page, Donna Dolittle, or in the group, sometimes I share about him. But, you know, he's been always tested on him, always all the frequencies. You know, there's a video from me 2 years ago where I was wrangling him down. I've got the clip on his neck and I'm using his paw to get it started. Nobody knew what to do in those days. And I mean, you might have learnt by now, I have a bit of a quirky sense of humor. So wrangle the dog, have a little bit of fun. You know, this is what it's all about. The thing is over time you learn that, you know, it's your thumbprint and these sort of things. But what I always got from him when I checked in was he didn't need to have it all the time. He didn't need to have it on him. And there is different ways that you can work with it. You know, I mean, I've sent the frequencies to water. You know, I do other things with using a mirror and putting my Healy on here and working with crystals. All those things you learn over time as you've been playing with it more. And I think the thing to remember, it's such an intuitive tool. Like always slow and low, less is more is my biggest motto. But everything else, if it feels right for you to run that certain program, then do it. Yeah. Right? You know, but we don't need to overload ourselves or our pets, because I guess you girls all tried it too. You ran every single program when you first got the device and you kind of go a little overload. Well, do that on yourself, but don't do it on your pets.
No, I agree.
Both of you that have got the dogs that have had strokes, you know, you can do some tapping, very gentle tapping around their brains, the top of their heads, which really just helps with those neurons, just slowly just tapping around. They love it. And that really helps them, just lighting all that brain power back up again. Lots of fun stuff, because my guy used to have, oh God, what's it called when they tilt their head on the side and go round and round in circles? Vestibular. And I worked with a lot of that and acupressure points with him. And in those days, I didn't have this, but once this arrived, yeah, with this.
Yeah, that was exactly the left side. Molly was doing the same, going round and the left side. So and it is actually really interesting because the tablets she got from the vet, I asked what they were, and it's like to open up the blood vessels and all that. And I'm like, she doesn't like the drugs, and I've already asked, do we have to carry on with this? And well, even the vet's not even, pushing it. And I'm like, oh, I'm happy with that, because I said to her, I would rather send the frequency to her, and that would be sufficient, because she'll take what she requires rather than ramming a tablet down her throat for, twice a day. So yeah, for me, this is an easier way. And like you said, you can use different things, record the vibration of tablets or oils or stuff like that, so that at least you can vibrate that into them. And again, they're really sensitive to frequency anyway, so they'll actually take what they require and move on if they don't need anything more. So that's pretty good.
Something we should have said from right at the start of the call is that if your animal is sick, please seek medical advice. I have seen people think, oh, well, this will fix it all. The answer is no. Take your pet to a vet. This we're using to support. So as Karen said, she's been to the vet, she's been given medication, and now she's using Healy to support her dog. And that's how I like to look at it. It is always a tool to support our animals and to support ourselves. So, Karen, what I would say to you in my capacity as an animal communicator / healer is, do some muscle testing, kinesiology testing, things like this, and ask, is this for her highest frequency to continue taking these? And if you get a yes, then for how long, and things like that. So, I've got the most amazing vets here in Australia and where we live. And, I'm always questioning. What about this? What about this? So I go to one that's holistic. She loves it because I run the Healy on the pets when we're in there, and she's sent people to me because she loves this stuff as well. She likes to work differently with animals. In the Frequency for Pets group, we've got quite a lot of vets, by the way. A lot of vets are using it in Australia. Well, not a lot, but we've got an emerging group of vets using it in Australia in their practices. So that really lights me up, floats my boat, that, people are seeing in that capacity what it can do to support their animals in their clinics.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time and your inspiration and just everything that you know about pets and sharing it with us, because you are a godsend, because you were the first one that I saw was doing anything with animals. And I'm like, oh, I need to be in contact with her. So I am very grateful for you, because you were one of the first ones, using the Healy with animals. And I'm like, yeah, I need to be in touch with her. So thank you so much for all your information and for sharing your knowledge with us today and every day. So if anyone wants to get in touch with Donna, can we go through Donna Dolittle, or do we do Donna Hammer, or do you have a Facebook group?
You can go to Frequencies for Pets. That's my Facebook group for the Healy device, or you can come to my Facebook page, which is Donna Dolittle. There is another one somewhere in the world, but so you've got to make sure you get the crazy one in Australia. Reach out, say hi. But if you're listening to this replay, go to one of the events and just have a look-see. I don't think any of these ladies look scary enough that they're going to chase you down and make you, put your paw up there and get a print, etc. But, just go and have a look-see and stay open, because, we do all need to take care of ourselves and take our own wellness into our own hands. And you can also support your pets. And that's what I love the most about it, is that it's a way to work with them in addition to yourself. So good luck. Thank you. And I appreciate being here.
Yes, thank you so much. Anybody else got any questions? No.
I'm just going to let you know that I've put the Eventbrite links in the chat, guys, so you can copy and paste that or just go and have a look. Thank you so much, Donna, for whipping yourself up off the couch and joining us today. That was absolutely, truly phenomenal. And I would just like to say to anybody that's here, reach out to the person that invited you here, do a Healy Health scan, have a chat, get yourself to, and your friends and your family, to one of the frequency experiences that we have in London, Manchester or Edinburgh. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Donna.
Yeah, and thank you, Donna. And we have these every Wednesday, and we have different topics every Wednesday, so look out for the links, and just to bring on anybody or recommend it to anybody you know that might be interested in this kind of thing that we have going on here. Thank you.
I actually saw one of you these chats one other time, and Anita, I think I heard you talking and I was going, how exciting. I loved your message that you were sharing, that, you know, for you were so excited about a personal device that people could have, and I went, oh, I love this, we should all get together more often.
Yeah.
And I think this is what it's about. It's about sharing. You know, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, we can share, we can still communicate. And what's good about these roadshows is for the last 2.5 years, all we've done is seen everyone in little boxes on a screen, and we're actually getting to see people in the flesh. You know, it's like, oh, I could go and hug somebody. I know what they look like. I know what they feel like. Oh, magic.
Well,
I won't go around bombarding everybody for a hug.
And by the way, ladies, Belinda that's down the bottom there, Belinda's been using her Healy device, and she actually goes to different events and things like that, does scans for people and pets. So she's a good support person as well, already over there in the UK if you ever want to. She's hiding out. So Belle, you're in trouble now. You can give her a little squeeze and ask her.
Belinda, we'll be in touch.
She's going all quiet. Come on, Belle, get on that little camera. Thank you.
Oh, she is. There she goes. Nice to see
I'm
you.
at work.
Oh, sorry. She's frozen now.
Yeah, she's obviously in the middle of something.
I'm at work with
Okay,
my dog in the back.
that's all right. Yeah, we can hear. Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
Myself now because he's a bit rude.
Well, Belinda, if you are available, come and see us at one of the road shows. Really like to meet you.
Register.
Right. Thank you so much, everybody. Nice to chat to you all. And for those, we'll see you again next Wednesday with a different topic. So
Great.
thank you so much.
Thanks, Donna. Thanks, everyone.